If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.
Welcome, welcome. Welcome back to the Robert and Crew Show. As always, I'm your host, Robert. Tonight, I'm by myself, guys. It's just me. So, if there's anything anybody wants to talk about, just shoot it in the comments and we can talk about it. I'm having a pretty good night. Hey, Julie, how are you? Um, I'm having a good night tonight. I just got off work not too long ago. Just been trying to figure out something to talk about. We went over the uh, the tariff situation earlier with China and the markups and everything else. I'm glad you're doing good, Julie. How's your night been? And if you want to jump onto the cast tonight, if you're bored not doing anything, Julie, you are more than welcome to jump on if you want. The link is the same link that I've given you before. Ladies who are supposed to go to space. Who's that? To go to space. Oh, shoot. On Monday, April 14th, 2025, a historic all female crew, including Katy Perry. Katy Perry's going to space? Katy Perry, Gail King, Lauren Sanchez, Aisha Bowe, Amanda Nugent, and Carrie Ann Flynn launched into space on a Blue Origin rocket, according to various news outlets. The mission was the first all-female space flight since 1963, and the crew returned safely to Earth after a 10-minute trip. So they already went to space. Katy Perry was a pop star, one of the first to sing in space. Gayle King was a journalist and CBS morning talk show host. Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' fiance, an Emmy award-winning journalist. Aisha Brown was a former NASA rocket scientist. Amanda Nugent, civil rights activist and bioastronautics research scientist. That's a mouthful. And Karen Flynn, film producer. Wow, that's pretty intense. That yeah, I see it now, but I didn't see your message before, but I see this stuff now. That's pretty crazy. I'll have to I'm sure there's video of it. Let's see if we can't pull that up real quick. Mhm. First all crew female in space. Okay, I think I got the video for it. So now we'll just do this. I gotta send it to myself real quick. I always hate doing this kind of stuff just because it's so long to do. To try to get this to work the way that I just want it to. And then it wants to take forever to send. Hey, Julie, welcome to the show tonight. How are you?
I'm good. I thought I'd hop on.
So, what have you been? So, you found this? I didn't even hear about this. I don't know how I didn't even hear about this. This is
I
crazy to me.
saw it on TikTok earlier today, and then I just saw another notification on Facebook, and I'm just like, did it really happen? Is it happening? Are they really going to go in space?
It says they already went.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it says they were only up there for 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't know how much money that costed to do, but it said they were only there for 10 minutes.
Wow. That's
Sorry, that
not
was
for very long.
no, not long at all. It's a weird one.
It is.
But like these millionaires and these people that believe that they are worth it or have more money or whatever, believe that they can just buy their way to anything, and they basically can. So if you have like $1 million to $2 million to throw at some SpaceX guy and be like, "Hey, I want to go to space," I'm sure they let you.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have lots of money and the mobility.
Oh yeah.
And
One,
I
two, three, take us back!
Sorry, what?
I don't think I would ever be able to do it because I've always been scared of heights.
Yeah. No, I
I
wouldn't want to do it
flew
either.
once.
I mean, I might want to go to space just to do it one time, but I don't think I would want to I don't think that I would want to like be up there for very long just cuz that's a completely new like area for me. It's not something that sounds very fun to me.
Yeah, me neither.
But here's this video real quick.
One, two, three, take us back! Woo! I'm glad you were right behind you. It's okay, you were up there. Flynn, I gotcha. I gotcha, Flynn. Oh, the moon! You guys, I don't have to tell you, look at the moon. Look. Okay. Look at the moon. Oh my gosh. So whoa, whoa, whoa. That's amazing.
You
Wow.
know what always weirds me out about those videos though? It always weirds me out that there's never any stars.
Yeah, because I know
Why
there's a
why
lot
aren't there
of,
stars?
there might be some controversy on did we ever actually go to space? I mean, that just really been on my mind a lot lately. I mean, what we've been taught in school, is it
Oh yeah.
really true?
Well, see, they at one point in time, like they asked Neil Armstrong, the very first man to ever walk on the moon, like when you were on the moon, did like how beautiful were the stars? Like, did you see everything, all the stars? And he was like, now that I think of it, I don't remember any stars. How is that possible? If we see
Yeah.
stars from Earth, then why don't they see stars in space? I don't understand that. Like, it's an absence of void. It's just light. So shouldn't they be able to see stars no matter what?
They should be able to. I mean, that just doesn't make no sense.
I know it's what doesn't make any sense to me either. And I've always wondered, like, how is that possible? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm sure there's some sort of scientific thing for it. It's probably let me see real quick. I bet I can pull it up. It's probably some BS scientific thing they have labeled for it. Why can't you see stars when you're in space? Oh, how convenient. You can see stars in space, but they're not visible to photos or astronauts due to specific conditions in space. There's no atmosphere to scatter light. The stars appear as sharp points of light. However, several factors can make some seem invisible.
That I just don't.
For
That's
example, the Apollo astronauts reported seeing stars clearly when they were in the moon's shadow or when their eyes adapted to darkness in deep space, but away from bright objects or stars, it would be strikingly bright numerous due to the lack of atmospheric distortion. What?
I just. Oh man, it's just wild.
Does
It's
that
just
not
so.
sound like a crock of crap?
Yes, I mean that's just so strange.
So we can see stars perfectly on Earth. And when they try to blame like light pollution in space, it makes me laugh because it's like well, that's what people say out here when they can't see stars is there's too much light pollution because there's a giant city like right next to them or something. So there's this city's making too much light and then they can't see the stars, but they're saying the same effect is happening in space and they can't see stars because the sun, I guess, is too bright or something. Our
And
main star is too bright. It doesn't make sense.
it does it. And the other day, I saw a light
Hey Brandon, how are
in the
you?
sky, and I thought maybe it was a planet, perhaps.
Right.
And
I mean,
then it went away, but just I noticed the other morning, it
it
was
just
just
went a-
seemed real bright, and then after a while, it was gone again.
you say it just went away by itself. It got really bright and then it went away and then it got really bright again and then it went away.
Well, it was just I noticed it for a while, and then it went away.
I gotcha. This is funny. I'm kind of famous, where I'm at. Like, I'm not really famous anymore. I used to be kind of famous. I was known as the UFO guy, and it's
Yeah.
because I got on the news back in 2012 because I saw UFOs, and I actually called the news people and the local MUFON people to come out and check out what I was seeing and all this stuff. And I made national news for it. And what you're describing, I kind of saw similar things happen. Like these lights would appear in the sky and they would look like stars, but then they would like flash. Like some of mine would flash different colors like constantly. And then others would just be like a white light that would get really bright and then it would dim out. And then it would get
Uh,
really bright again and then like it'd stay bright for like 5 minutes maybe sometimes and then it would just dim all the way out until it was gone and you couldn't see it no more.
I even took a picture of it,
Yeah,
and it was just like a white glob, but it just was so interesting. I wanted the picture. I think I deleted it now, but
hey, you be taking some good photos of like sunsets and stuff. I see it all the time.
I'd love to get up and do that in the mornings. It's just something I enjoy doing.
See
I like taking pictures.
my phone gets really good pictures. I got the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and oh my goodness, does that phone's camera is like it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
So
I've
like
heard a lot of the androids take really good pictures.
oh yeah, you saw that photo I posted of the moon the other night. Like
Yes.
that's from my phone camera. Like that's intense. Like it's like, oh my god, how does my camera do that? But
I know, and then I
I've
just
also
got
heard
an Apple.
oh, I'm sorry. I've also heard that that Samsung kind of uses AI to his advantage. So, like, if you have your phone or whatever, and you have the Samsung Galaxy line or whatever that has this new Galaxy AI in it, I guess if you point your phone at the moon, it takes AI, and AI scans like multiple pictures of the moon online, and it kind of low key does an overlay over the moon photo that you're taking. So it kind of is cheating. It's showing you a clearer picture of the moon via AI being added into your camera. And they don't tell you
Wow.
that. And we found that out. Like, these people found that out on the internet because what they did was they took a Samsung phone and they cut out a circular, like a white circle piece of paper, and surrounded it by like a black curtain, and then they like stood back like 15-20 feet away, and then they zoomed into this object that's on this black curtain, and it filled in the object as if it was the moon.
Wow.
Yeah, so Samsung used AI to make a piece of paper the moon, and like these, like, that's how they tested it with their experiment, and it's absolutely hilarious. Like, sure, my phone takes really good pictures of the moon, but is it really that moon, or is it AI just making up the rest of it because the camera can't process it?
True.
Brandon says that you left him hanging in the comments this episode.
Yeah, I did. Sorry, Brandon.
Brandon's actually coming on the show on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have Brandon on here. I don't know what we're talking about yet, but we're gonna figure it out. I guess he drives and delivers stuff, so I could talk to him about that kind of stuff, and we'll make a show out of it. Throw some conspiracies up in there, talk about some Egypt. I've been on this whole
Taking
kick
a,
about I've been on this whole kick of learning as much as I can about the pyramids and about Giza.
I've seen another picture earlier today. I think I may have sent it to you from Facebook about it had a pyramid on it.
Oh,
It
you
just,
you said you think you sent it to me on Facebook?
I mean, not Facebook, Messenger. I
Okay.
think I sent it to you, but it was a pyramid. It
Uh-oh.
just lots of
No, I didn't get it.
interesting things. Okay,
Yeah, I
I
didn't
must
get
have
it.
missed that one.
Yeah, I have a couple of videos from you, but I don't have a pyramid video or a pyramid
Okay,
thing.
okay,
All
I
right.
probably forgot to
Oh, you're
send
good.
that one.
No problem. No, but I've been interested in the pyramids and stuff lately. It's actually pretty freaking cool.
It
All
is.
the stuff
I
going on with
always.
China is affecting
Oh,
trucking. We could talk about that on Friday. Yeah, no, Brandon, we could talk about the Chinese tariffs and basically the United States tariffs on China. I did a whole episode about that earlier, actually, during the day. I saw all this stuff going on TikTok, and it's kind of going viral right now. But China is like exposing everybody right now in the manufacturing. It's absolutely hilarious, but at the same time, it's like, wow, we've been fucked.
yeah. I've found some videos on TikTok and sent a bunch of them to you and
I
Seaton.
watched them. Yeah, I watched those. Those are crazy.
They were. I just because after I heard your podcast, I went and looked it up. It
It's
just
crazy. It's so crazy to think about, and to understand how these tariffs actually work. So the thing is that like these companies that have to pay the tariffs to China, and the companies in China that have to pay the tariffs to America, basically both of those companies they're not actually paying the tariff. They're passing it down to the consumer. So we're paying the tariff, not the government, and
Yeah,
that just doesn't seem fair to me. That's
it
not very
doesn't.
fair. Yeah, so and not only are they going to put small businesses out of business, and not only are they going to this just completely screw up the economy with tariffs, they're literally going to make it to where prices just skyrocket on everything. Absolutely everything. Everything is going to cost more.
Exactly. And after I was watching you this afternoon, it reminded me of watching a 2020 episode, probably early 90s. But they were talking about sweatshops where people had to go in and work long hours in the hot heat. And
Mhm.
they were already saying then that a lot of things were made in China. But
Oh
they
yeah.
would put on the label that it was made from the USA or somewhere else
Yeah.
the whole time.
Oh yeah. So I actually looked up like the laws behind that, and apparently there are a lot of laws that like protect against that. But everything that we're hearing now coming directly from Chinese manufacturers is that how they get around it is they basically make hundreds of thousands of items in bulk, and then they send it to a warehouse in either Europe, Australia, or the United States, or wherever else they need to send that said product. And then the people who get that product down here switch things. They make it enough to where it's their product. They don't only sew like made in Italy on it or something like that. They have to actually change a part of the object. But other than that, basically the object is made in China.
Yeah.
Making quite a bit of money because outsourcing that, regardless if it's made in a good way or if it's made in a sweatshop. Like I don't agree with sweatshops. I think that's fucking terrible. But there's different labor laws in different countries. Like in Africa right now, in certain parts of Africa, they're mining rare earth and like rare earth minerals. And basically, what they do is they once they find a spot that has a lot of rare earth minerals in it or whatever, all these people just rush there to dig all of it out, and some of them are women with like babies on their backs. Like they literally
Oh,
do. Like,
wow.
could you imagine that being a mom and you've got two newborn children and you have to hold them on your back while you go out and mine for rare earth minerals because if you don't, then your family's not going to make it. Basically, that's what goes on with them, and with the amount of rare earth minerals that one person finds or whatever, a day's wage for them is basically slave work. Like they get paid, if they're lucky, they might get $20 a day for what they do,
Wow.
if they're lucky. And to put that into perspective, I make about $120 a day after taxes. So they're working for pennies on the dollar. They're working for 5, 10, 25, maybe 50 cents an hour.
Wow.
And
That's
that's a
just,
lot. That's a lot of countries, man. That's not just Africa, that's not just China. There's multiple countries out there that do that to their people. But I've heard actually lately that China has actually gotten a lot better about it, and they don't have as many sweatshops, and the sweatshops that are there are being ran illegally. They're not being ran legally. Like the government doesn't approve of that. Now that could be propaganda from the Chinese. That could be them saying, "Oh, of course we don't do that," while they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like that could be
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
But at the same time though, like I do kind of believe the Chinese people because I've bought things from China personally. Like I've ordered things directly from China. And I will tell you that some of the quality that you get in China is so much better than anywhere else in the world. And if you have that kind of quality, that's not being made by slaves. That's being made by people who really take their work seriously.
Yeah.
So, like, that makes sense to me, and I think basically there's a lot of lies that have been said between different countries about other countries that they don't like in order to get people to either boycott or stop buying certain objects or to not back certain countries. Like, God forbid if somebody came out and was like, I back China fully on everything. I don't back China. LOL,
Yeah.
CIA. I do not back China. But it'd be really funny if somebody came out and was like, yeah, I back China on absolutely everything. And then you look at it and you're like, well, do you back them on how they do this?
Yeah, exactly. Because, if they called our debt due, we would be in a world of trouble. I think you're frozen.
No internet. The
Okay.
connection was having an issue. I don't know what happened.
Meanie?
It said it was like I have full bars now, but the connection said that it went out.
Wow. That's what happened.
But
Okay.
yeah, no, it's you you can't say you support a certain place and then completely go around and buy things from them and then put your name on it and sell them as yours.
Yeah. I agree.
Like that's kind of screwed up. And that's Louis Vuitton and Chanel and Gucci making a whole bunch of money off of us the consumer while paying pennies on the dollar for product and then quadruple, triple 1 million percenting it all the way up and we're paying that price and willingly, which is absolutely insane. Like there's people out here that are willingly buying that designer shit.
Not me.
Well, I mean, me neither, because I can't afford it. But I mean, there were
Yeah.
times where I saw something that was like Balenciaga or something that I thought looked cool that I was like, oh, that'd be cool to have or whatever. And then like you go and you check the price and you're like, holy shit, not for $4,000. It's not. And
Exactly.
it's like a ripped pair of jeans, like for real. Like I've seen this before, like a ripped pair of jeans that are like some crazy Versace jeans or something that are literally ripped. Like they look like they were cheese grated and they're being sold for
Wow.
$6,000. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, this is money laundering if
Crazy.
I've ever seen money laundering in my life.
Exactly. I mean, hey, growing up in the 80s and 90s, I was rough and tumble and I would make my own holes in my jeans. And my
Right?
mom would put patches over it. And it was
Yeah,
cool to have a patch over
right.
your torn up jeans. And now they make all these jeans with holes in them.
Yeah, with rips in them and holes in them, and it's like you're paying hundreds of dollars for destroyed jeans.
It's
It's funny. It's like how'd that become a fashion statement? Oh yeah, let's buy the jeans that are ripped all the way down, and then a month later, after you've worn them 6 times, they're literally falling apart, and you paid a couple $1,000s for those. What?
yeah, that's just way too much money to spend on ripped up clothing.
Right? And there's people that do it, and that's what is just crazy to me. I don't understand a lot of the social norms and how people flex their money. I don't get it. Like I'm I do a little bit with jewelry. I love jewelry. I love watches. I love necklaces. I love all that kind of stuff. I love rings. So I could get behind like that, but that's kind of like a investment. Honestly, jewelry becomes an investment.
Yeah,
But like ripped up clothing and then like super nice cars, like when you buy a Lamborghini off the lot, you're not making any money. You're losing money the second it comes off the lot.
exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much work you put into that car, it will never be worth what it was worth on that car lot.
Yeah,
So unless you swap a motor out or something and make it way faster than it was before. There's no way you're making money off of it. So
Exactly.
that's how I look at it. If you're going to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, you should probably invest it instead and get a return instead of spending it on something that's going to depreciate.
Exactly. Exactly. Because I don't think, I mean, things are so expensive nowadays that people can hardly afford it. And it makes you wonder if they're even wondering about the small stuff anymore.
Yeah, well, nobody. So when it comes down to consumerism, when it comes down to the person that's buying the object, the in today's world, people want flashy objects, they want super nice things, and they want designer and luxury for whatever reason. And that's gotten like really big in today's culture. And you have all these, I guess you have the rappers and the rock stars and the people that all these people look up to that are consistently wearing that brand or wearing that object or wearing that thing. And it becomes a status symbol basically to have that object. It doesn't matter how much you have to pay for it. It's worth it because now you're somebody because you own it. And that's the
Yeah,
problem with the consumerism because you don't become a different person because you have a Gucci bag.
exactly.
Yeah, you don't become a better person because you have a Louis V suit. That's not how the world works.
Right.
So consumerism in my own personal opinion is just a crock of crap to begin with. It's just companies trying to sell you random shit to make money, encouraging us to be hoarders.
Yeah,
Yeah, and on their benefit, encouraging everybody in the world to be a hoarder on their benefit. We don't really get anything from it. Like a lot of the stuff that we buy is just that. It's stuff we consume. So whether that be media or random collectibles, for kids it's like Pokemon cards and Hot Wheels cars. Like how many
yeah.
Hot Wheels cars do you need? And
Yeah, and it's
and
just
then
like
hardware.
I'm a wrestling fan,
Yeah.
and I have a few uh action figures, but
Yeah.
my shelf isn't full of them. I just have a few that I like,
Well, yeah,
and you know.
it's perfectly okay to like something and collect something. I think everybody likes and collects stuff. I literally think everybody does. Like even if you hate the world, there's something you absolutely love that you would that you would love to have. Like there's just that there's somebody that always wants something out there. But so I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but I think it's the way that these companies approach it that's wrong.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
when they yeah, because when they come out and they build like say you really like Legos and you go out and you start buying the build kits and you start building random Lego objects because you want to display them in your house after you're done building them and they're really cool. Like say you went out and bought the Hogwarts castle and built the entire castle because it just looked freaking awesome and you wanted to have that in your house. Well, how come that plastic that took $20 to make, that whole bucket of plastic that is what you're gonna be putting together only took $10 to make, but they're gonna sell it to you for $700.
Wow.
That's what I think is wrong. Like, it's just wrong.
Definitely.
How
Definitely.
how come they get to make 70% more off a $10 purchase? Like, I understand making money, but there's a point where they're just completely and totally raping the consumer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I believe it to be, is they look at you, you work hard for your money, or like everybody works hard for their money. Even if even if you don't work and you get paid for disability or whatever, that's still your money. And you shouldn't have to worry, hey, do I need to buy the cheap crap that I know is going to break, or can I afford this object over here that is upmarked even though it's only worth $5. And that's the fucked up thing is we have people that are having to make decisions about products that they shouldn't have to make. Like, for instance, trash bags. I look at trash bags when I go to the grocery store, and you know that if you buy the off brand trash bag, you're going to buy the trash bag that's going to rip. It's going to rip. It's
Yeah.
not going to work correct. It's going to suck. But then you see the Duralash or the Dura, whatever, the Duratough brand trash bags that you know are going to freaking make it no matter what. They're not going to rip. They're even a little bit elastic and they stretch a little. But the problem is those Duralast ones now all of a sudden are $19 for 30 of them.
That
Whereas the cheap ones or whatever are freaking $5 for 100 of them. But they're gonna but
and then
more
they fall
than
apart.
yeah, they fall apart or they rip. But you know that Duratough brand, they're only there's no way that it costs $50 to even make one container of those. There's no way. Like it probably costs $1.
The connection must be acting up again.
Guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, the trash bags. The Duratough trash bags. It doesn't make any sense like why they can profit so much off of us in that way.
Yeah.
$19 trash bags is a little too much. Like same thing with eggs. Like you know what happened with the eggs, right? Like everybody wants to tell you it's inflation. It's the eggs weren't inflation. You know what happened?
What?
They culled a whole bunch of chickens. They killed like I think it was like 200,000 chickens or something because they thought bird flu was going rampant even though it wasn't. It didn't
Wow.
affect anything and they went and they killed all these chickens on a doctor's order. And when they did that, the basically the eggs, they didn't have as much production for the eggs anymore. And like you can hatch new chickens, sure, but they're not going to lay eggs immediately. They have to grow up. So
Exactly.
they kind of screwed themselves and we ended up paying for it. But eggs are slowly going down now, and I'm watching it. It's because chickens are becoming prevalent again. We're starting to have chickens that are getting to the age of being able to have eggs. And so we have that happening. But a doctor literally told or it was some kind of doctor that works with like farm animals or whatever, but recommended to kill the chickens.
That's just crazy. And
Right?
then
Like
I was
you have to,
thinking, we were talking about shoes earlier today.
yeah.
All those name brand shoes that people pay, what, $50? Well, I paid for one back in the 90s for $50. Nowadays it'd probably be 70.
Oh yeah, no, like so if you want a good pair of Nikes, you're paying 120 to $175.
Yeah. I mean, I
So
just
yeah, that's ridiculous. Like I
it
don't pay that
is.
for a shoe. Uh-uh. I bought a pair of
No.
Levi's. I bought a pair of Levi shoes, like, or my wife did actually for me about 3 months ago, and I wore them for an entirety of 3 months before they started falling apart. We paid $42 for those shoes. I was pissed.
Wow.
They fell
Yeah, they
apart
just
in 3
don't
months.
last. Things just don't last like they used to.
No, I mean, I remember back in 8th grade, I could buy a nice pair of skate shoes for like 40 bucks, and those shoes would last 5 years. And I could
Yeah,
wear
'cause
them
like
every day.
that pair of shoes I bought for $50 in the 90s. They
Yeah,
lasted me for years. I can't remember
yeah.
how long, but they lasted me for years.
Brandon says he used to haul chickens to farms and that he can talk about that also. Yeah, no, the chicken stuff is crazy. So you used to haul chickens from farms, man. That's intense. I bet that was a really smelly job. I feel like hauling chickens would be a very smelly job. Are you hauling like hundreds or are you hauling thousands at a time? Like how many chickens you haul at a time? And no, we hauling chickens. That's crazy. But I
Wow.
showed I showed those videos of the alligators the other day and you commented on that or whatever, but the alligators on that golf course, those were intense.
Very.
Those things get huge.
I don't think I would want to be around them. I mean, I've been to Florida on vacation, but I was never that up close to one. But we seen them behind a closed fenced area. So
The internet is struggling tonight.
it is. It looks like it. I was going to tell you, I had gotten a couple of free jackets um back when it was still a little core. And they came from Timu app, and they
Yeah.
didn't last very long. The first time I tried the zipper on my one coat, it broke. The same day I was
Oh.
trying it on. And then the other one,
Oh.
the zipper worked, but then it started having a hole almost near the hood of it.
No.
So it just,
That always sucks when that happens. When you buy something, you really like it, and then it breaks either the first day or like a week into having it. Ugh, it's
yes,
always the worst. I remember when I had my first like really nice phone. It was my first smartphone, and it was probably like I was probably like 19. It was my first like one that I bought. Like I had one before that my parents bought me, but I had to get my own phone. And when I got my own phone, I remember I had it on my lap as I was driving to Pizza Hut. I had just placed an order to get a pizza, and I pulled up to Pizza Hut, and I got out of my car, and I forgot that my phone was in my lap,
oh
and it
no,
fell out of my lap onto the concrete and exploded. It shattered everywhere. It like glass
wow,
everywhere. It was terrible. It was before Gorilla Glass and the nice like Android phones that don't break when they fall.
yeah,
This freaking phone just went obliterated.
wow,
I was so mad. I had to get a new phone. I didn't have the money at the time to get another phone, and oh man, I remember I had to call my friend, or I had to figure out a way to call my friend, ask him if he had a phone that I could borrow, and he ended up giving me an old phone that he used to have, and I my SIM card in it because that was back in the days you could take your SIM card out of a phone and put it in another phone, and it would work.
yeah. I've had that. Now this phone I have now, I've had it for a year now, and it's a Apple iPhone 15. And I actually I dropped it the other day, but it's still staying intact. I haven't had no scratches or anything yet.
Hell yeah.
Knock on wood.
Brandon Brandon said 50,000 to 100,000 baby chickens at a time.
Wow.
Oh my god. That's how many you haul at a time, bro? That's insane.
Wow.
50,000 to 100,000 baby chickens. So you're talking like the
Hmm.
little yellow baby chicks, or are these like baby chickens as in they just turned into like full grown chickens, or are they like chicks? You're like hauling around 100,000 baby chicks, because that would be the cutest freaking thing in the entire world, and I would love to jump inside there and just roll around with all the time baby. I love little chicks. Like when Ace Hardware or any of the hardware stores like buy their chickens, I go out immediately just to go see the baby.
Oh, I'd love to see them. We had bought some baby chicks and had them for a couple of months before our realtor said you're not really supposed to have farm animals on the property because we had
Right.
ducks and chickens, so we had to get rid of them.
Oh.
But I
Yeah, I want to
raised
get a
them
duck.
until they started getting big.
Yeah, I want a duck. I want a duck so bad. I think that'd be so cool.
They
I
were
I
pretty
saw
neat.
I saw some ducks at the hardware store the other day, and they were really cheap. They were like $10 a duck. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna buy a duck, and my wife stopped me. I would
Yeah.
love to have a pet duck, but the problem is we live in an apartment complex. There's no way we could own a duck.
I understand that. I can't have pets either.
Yeah, like we have a cat, and our cat's awesome. I don't think he'd like a duck. He'd probably be upset if I brought home a duck. But yeah, we're allowed to have a cat or a cat and a dog, but we can't have anything else besides cats or dogs. But don't tell anybody I have a bearded dragon. So yeah, I have a lizard too. I love my lizard. But yeah, my cat's cool, but he's kind of a jerk.
Yeah, I would love to have a pet, but under my contract it says no pets unless you
Yeah,
get
see,
special permission.
or a service animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't deny a service animal. So what you can do to get around that, by the way, is like you can literally just go to a doctor and say that like you can just hearing or you're having trouble seeing. You already have glasses. You're having trouble seeing.
and
You want to get a
hearing.
service. Oh yeah, and you want to get a service
Yeah,
dog. That's all you have to do, and they'll grant you that. They'll let you have a service animal.
because I've thought
You
about
know,
that, but I wasn't sure how much it would take to get into that.
well, you know the cool thing about having a dog is the apartment complex won't the the apartment complex can't charge you or where you're living can't charge you pet rent if it's a service animal because it's there for your health care. It's not there for it's not technically it's a pet, it's working.
Yeah,
So they don't consider it a pet, which is awesome. And you don't end up having to pay for it. Because I tried
yeah.
to get
Eventually,
my
I want to
cat.
do that.
Yeah, because my cat at the apartment complex I was before, we did it online and we got I don't even know if it was real. Like I did a stupid questionnaire thing and paid like $10 and got an ID, like a card that was printed out that was very badly printed out by somebody, may I might add, that said that my cat was a service animal.
Oh
Present
wow.
the apartment. They took it and they let my cat stay there without having for its rent or anything. But we didn't try to do that again. We knew its license thing because honestly I didn't think it was real. I don't think you can do that online. I think you're supposed to do that
Yeah,
at the doctor's office. So people do make fraudulent pet licenses, which is absolutely hilarious because they know that people need to have that documentation to have a pet.
yeah.
What do you mean, Brandon, that the killing of the chicken thing is kind of seasonal? Like I understand certain chickens, like you got like chickens are raised to be called to be killed to for like food and stuff. Like I get that, but they don't just go out and kill 2,000 chickens because they think they have bird flu, and that's what they did. So like, but that's not normal. So if it is normal, I'm not aware of that. I might have to look that up real quick, but I don't think it's cull chickens like that.
I didn't think so either. I mean, I know it's for food.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
But I
Is
did
it normal to cull chickens? Not to call chickens, to cull. There you go. Okay, so it is a common practice, but not up to the scale of 200,000 chickens. It's smaller scale poultry operations, and it raises ethical concerns, particularly in the case of day-old male chickens. Culling can involve removing hens, or the case of male chicks. It's standard practice in egg-laying industry due to their lack of economic value. So they kill the male birds?
Wow.
Oh, that's sad.
That is.
This practice is often involving the immediate disposal of male chickens in egg-laying operations is a major point of contention due to animal welfare concerns. It's driven by the fact that the male chicks breeds are not raised for meat, not needed for breeding, so they're culled out. Dang, they just kill them like that.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
So culling hens can be necessary for various reasons, but usually because they're sick. If a hen is constantly laying fewer eggs and is expected to be sick, it may be culled. It has illness or injury, so if it's sick or injured, it may be culled. And if it's at old age, they can cull it, but they don't normally cull healthy hens, which is what they did. They culled a whole bunch of healthy hens. It was like 200,000 of them. Like,
Wow.
how many hens did they cull last year? Sorry, not 200,000, 20 million. They
Oh my
culled 20
goodness.
million chickens last year. 20 million chickens suspected of bird flu.
That's way too
I
many.
don't. Yeah, I know. 34.3 million egg laying hen. Oh, sorry. By the start of December 2024, 34.3 million egg laying hens were culled for no other reason than having bird flu. Supposedly having bird flu.
Wow.
Yeah, record chicken deaths for bird flu outbreak. More than 20 million egg-laying chickens in the U.S. died last year because of bird flu, supposedly due to the data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. But I actually heard that like they didn't prove that any of those birds had bird flu. They just killed them. Like one bird was suspected of having it, and then because of that, in every group that one bird was suspected of having it, they killed all the chickens.
That's just crazy.
Which that's right. It's a lot of food being like so. That's the reason all the eggs like what price. In my personal opinion, if you only have say you have 90 million egg laying chickens in the United States, and you cull 20 million of them, of course egg prices are going to go up.
Yes.
Of course egg prices is going to go up. No. Brandon, 34.3 million by December of 2024. It isn't even a whole 34.3 million, not just 2 million. 34.3 million by December of 2024. So yeah, that it blows my mind. And it was because they were all suspected of bird flu.
Mm.
Make it make sense, guys. That does not make sense. You test the chickens that you believe have bird flu, and then you wait a couple of days to see if other chickens get sick, and then of course, if all of the birds in the coop get sick, then you call.
Yeah.
Then you call. Then you birds. But I don't see a point in obliterating the entire coop without knowing for a fact that they have bird flu.
I agree.
It doesn't make sense. It's a way to hurt the once again, it's a way to hurt the consumer. And
Yeah.
I believe personally that was during the whole Joe Biden stuff, and I think honestly, there was stuff going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about. And the more that they hurt, the more that they hurt the new administration that came in, the more that they hurt the Trump administration, the better. That's how they believed it. So if they could make eggs go all the way up to $16 for a carton, they wanted to do really, really
Yeah.
piss people off. People think that he's not doing what he said he was going to do. Which don't get me wrong, I'm not a Trump ride or die guy. I'm not like that at all. I think the man is kind of disgusting if you ask me, but he knows business and that's what America needs right now.
Yes. I think he's trying to help, but I
Yeah.
just don't know. I'm still waiting. Put it that way. I'm still waiting to see how things are gonna work out.
You got to figure though, one chicken country can have around 200 to 400,000 chickens a day. So some of them math. No, I 100% agree that the math doesn't be math, and sometimes, but that was straight from Google. That was straight from the Department of Agriculture too. 34.3 million by
Wow.
December. So if it's not right, it's being inflated for another reason, and we're feeling the effects of inflated bullshit that we shouldn't feel at all. And it was all a political ploy to begin with. But
Exactly.
if not, then they killed a bunch of chickens for no reason.
Yeah. And I think
Well,
that
either
definitely hurts
way,
the economy.
oh yeah, for sure. If you think about the eggs that are sold in America, and how much like people rely on chickens for food, for just food, eggs, and other just random things that chickens help with. I mean, farms have chickens. Not all chickens are eat or there to lay eggs. A lot of them are. A lot of them that's their main
Yeah.
reason. And when you get rid of that, a big portion of that, prices are going to go up. It's going to hurt the economy. It's going to hurt the consumer. It's going to hurt the farmer. It doesn't help anybody. Yeah, it probably is being inflated. It probably
Yes.
is being inflated, but at the same time, it only hurts the consumer brand. And so it's just like, why would they purposefully inflate that unless they were trying to make more money off of us and raise the price, having to without having to have an explanation, or their explanation was that lie, the bird flu lie. Well, we chickens this year. Well, okay. 34.3 million is a lot to cull in one year, let alone just December. So I totally agree with you. I think it is inflated. I just don't understand why the government did that. I don't understand why that unless it was to distinctively hurt us, which makes no sense. Why they would want to hurt the main people that keep their country afloat. Without us, they're not
Exactly.
going anywhere.
Right.
And that's the only reason. Like when people say that they're worried about doing sketchy things or like putting America at risk, I gotta think like the last thing they want is war on American soil, because that doesn't help anybody. It literally doesn't help a single person. It ruins everybody's
No.
life. you lose everything, the economy falls, and everybody you literally lose everything. So yeah, no, the I don't understand why the government would want to hurt us in the aspect of agriculture, farming, and food, even though I know there's an entire like conspiracy theory that's harmful and hurts people. But the conspiracy theory is that they're trying to get the population down to 500 million, and that's where it's supposed to be. It's all population control.
Yeah. Just kind of like the COVID thing. Wonder if
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
part of the population control.
I know for a fact company can control the amount of chickens they can produce to raise prices. It's all about greed. For sure it is. Sure it is. I never put something past a corporation. I don't necessarily think it's the farmer disrupting the economy. I think it's the corporation behind that's disrupting the sales and the inflated culling of chickens or the reason why they need to do it. I understand the greed aspect. The well, if we only have this many chickens, raise the price and we can make this much off of everybody. So I understand that, but I don't think it's right.
No, I don't either.
So you've been around farm animals before, Julie? Have you like did you grow up on a farm or anything?
No, I pretty much grew up in an apple orchard, really. But when I was
In the
married,
apple orchard?
yeah, we had a lot of apples. Um, we mainly just made stuff for our own selves, and we shared some of the apples with our neighbors or friends. But I've been around chickens before, when I lived in Arkansas.
Yeah. I've been around horses quite a bit in my life, and I've also been around like cows a lot. I've just always lived by them. I've lived by cows. Like I've always had cows by me. I don't know how or why, but they follow me everywhere I go.
I grew up not wanting to be around cows. For some reason, they kind of scared me for a while. But
They also
nowadays, I've kind of gotten over my fears.
yeah, they're not the worst things in the world. I don't mind being around like female cows. I don't like being around bulls because they're predictable.
Yeah,
If you don't if they don't know you and you're not a friend, that bull if it gets mad, you're gonna get hurt pretty bad. But the female
and
cows, I don't really mind them. They're they're fine. They get spooked easy though. If you because they can only look forward or they basically I forget what it is, but they can only look a certain way. So if you step to them a certain way, they can't see you at all. And if you do that, you can really spook a cow and it can like freak them out.
yeah. I was able to feed a calf though before. That was pretty. I don't mind the calves when they're little. So I was able
Did
to
you bottle feed
feed
it?
them, bottle feed them.
Did you bottle feed it? Yeah,
Yeah.
those are awesome. I got to milk a cow and I got to bottle feed a cow at the state fair. I love doing stuff like that. I love being around animals. Animals are like some of my favorite things in this whole world.
Yeah. I love
Oh,
chickens and ducks.
Brandon said it's not the farmers. The chicken company screws them over a lot. Yep. Yeah, I apologize if I'm throwing a ton of information at you at once. I hauled chickens for 4 years and I see beyond the BS about the egg prices. Oh, you're not bothering me or throwing too much information. I'm right there in the same boat with you. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's stupid. And the way that they're reacting with these prices only hurts us. It doesn't hurt them. The corporation profits. The people that need that food to survive, especially because it's a staple in most people's diets because they're cheap. When eggs were good, man, like I remember probably like 2014, 2015, I could get a whole carton of eggs for like $1.50.
Yeah.
And then I remember being able to get 30 eggs, all the way up to 60 eggs. 60 eggs would cost me maybe $8,
Wow.
maybe. Now, now 60 eggs costs you like freaking almost $35.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, no, I'm in the same boat with you, Brandon. I don't think it's right. I think it's screwed. I think that these companies are getting one over on us. It's the same way that these companies in China, or not the companies in China, these companies in the world have been using China and been labeling them as their own product and then sending it over as so. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. It's another way to make money off of us and make us poorer while they get richer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
guys,
Definitely.
it's been a good night tonight. I think this is going to be a perfect place to end this cast. Thank you for hopping on tonight, Julie, and talking about
Oh, no
chickens
problem.
and talking about other things and talking about the stuff going on in China and the tariffs and all that. And just thanks for being a part of the cast tonight. I'm always welcome around. You're a lawyer. You're a loyal viewer and a wonderful fan. And also, Brandon, we can't meet on Friday. It'll be wonderful to have you on the podcast. As with all that, though, I hope everybody has a good night. I hope, Julie, it was great having you on tonight. And with that,
Thank
I
you.
will see y'all later. Talk to
All
you later
right.
from the Robert and Cruz Show.
If you don't like boring news but still crave the truth, then dive into The Robert and Crew Show. From mind-bending conspiracy theories to wild weather phenomena, we've got it all. Ever wondered what's really happening in your hometown, or what secrets the global news isn't telling you? We dig deep into the core of every story, unraveling the mysteries one podcast at a time. Join Robert and the crew as we navigate this vibrant, ever-changing cyberpunk landscape, bringing you interviews with the most intriguing minds out there. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, a news junkie or a weather enthusiast, there's something here for you. So strap in, listeners, because we're about to take you on a ride through the neon-lit alleys of truth and intrigue. This is the Robert and Crew Show, where the future meets the fantastic.